A Montrose man and his museum were recently recognized as having the best Western collection in the world. Our Mark Bott went to see what he's gathered over the years.
This one is exclusively for the nation's most famous collector. And you see that I've been collecting for 78 years, so there's nobody older.
Richard Fike and the Museum of the Mountain West just snagged True West Magazine's award for the nation's best Western history collector. That's based on his fascinating collection of nearly 1.5 million artifacts. His collection includes
28 buildings plus this big building here.
These buildings, though, are artifacts in their own right.
All the buildings outside are original buildings except for the hotel and the jail. And the jail is from an old barn.
They trace their history to a bygone era right here in western Colorado.
And they were in the valley here, in the Uncompahgre Valley, all the way up to Hotchkiss and all the way down to almost down to Ridgeway.
Fike has a long history of collecting, recovering his first artifact when he was only 4 years old, and his family moved to Alaska.
They had a Model T garage, so you couldn't put a regular car in there. It was too narrow. And in there I found a clock. And that clock is a Thomas carriage clock.
That clock was the beginning, but Fike told me by the time he was 8, his collection had already turned into a small museum. Combine that with a trip to see ancient wonders, and his life's path was set.
We visited the Southwest and Mesa Verde, Chaco, and Aztec, etc. And that's it. I want to be an archaeologist. And that's what my career was.
Fike ended up working as an archaeologist for the Smithsonian and as the Utah State Archaeologist for the Bureau of Reclamation before setting up his own Museum of the Mountain West in Montrose. From a complete vintage dentist shop, bar, and drugstore to scores of relics like an automatic violin and an entire carriage collection, Fike and his team found it all.
We're a big fun family here.
Ultimately, his goal is to share his passion and his artifacts with visitors from around the world. First on the Western Slope, Mark Bott, KREX 5 News.